So just like I spoke to the king, I gotta speak to the queen. This piece right here is called Somebody That Told You Wrong. One more time, let me hear you say, poet, give me life.
Poet, give me life.
Somebody has convinced the black woman that her flaws represent her character. That as diamond, she is no longer valuable because of a defect. Her sparkle has been blemished by a flirtatious reputation. They never asked the root cause. Had they diagnosed her correctly, the biopsy would have shown her being molested, which led to rape, which led to fear of telling her mother, because he's been a friend of mama since middle school. Somebody has convinced the black woman that her flaws make her inferior. That to be submissive means to be quiet. But somebody didn't see the flaw in that logic, because black women ain't built like that. Black women don't move in silence. Black women get loud when it's time for action. Matter of fact, when she gets started, who can make a black woman shut the fuck up? When she's in full audio mode, if you attempt to mute her, she'll only turn up the volume. Somebody has convinced a black woman that her flaws are natural, that her curves automatically imply promiscuity. As she dances through the struggles of life, she's never classified ballerina, but always stereotyped video vixen. But even if you shake your tail, it doesn't give them the right to consider you canine. It's not a reason to call you bitch. You are the inverse of dog. You are God, so why let mere mortals determine your status and represent how the black man should worship you? Most of you carry the weight of being single mothers on your backs. And when life's levees break and the water of misfortunes rises above your sea level, you are brave enough to put your children's knees on your shoulders and willing to drown in life's issues just so they can breathe easy. Black woman, in your perfect imperfection, stop letting bitch niggas attempt to school you. Just because your biological dropped out from the class of fatherhood doesn't mean you should enroll in their curriculum. Doesn't mean you should accept their syllabus. If you do the math, their only interest is to grade your head, not your intelligence. They'll never see you as scholars, but as sexual conquests, eager to add you to their growing principles list. So why even entertain their perceptions of you? They've always been less thoroughbred, more counterfeit, less king, more nigga, less savior, more fuckboy. Let me remind you that you are the connection between knowledge and understanding. The cohesive between an attention-seeking child and a deadbeat dad. You have always been legendary, always been magic, always had the power not only within you but in between you, because your sex game has always been heroic and always been our kryptonite. I heard that brown sugar might even be the cure to cancer. I was told that good pussy actually made a black man believe he can become president. So when doubts start to lower your self-esteem, when uncertainties whisper negative connotations, remember those insecurities form from jealousy. They stem from broken boys pretending to be whole men trying to convince you that your flaws are all your fault. They don't care about your testimonies of sexual abuse. They won't even uplift you. Your self-medication of vodka and pills makes it easier to condemn. Your suicide attempts don't even arouse their emotions. They have no interest in discovering the foundation behind your flaws, because it's easier to point the finger. It's easier to be your judge and not your protector, not your encourager. So convince yourselves that you are strength, personified, ageless beauty, independent caregivers, the family sacrificial lamb, the backbone, the revolution, the survivor against all odds. You are winners. You have a lot to be smiling for. If you know you living your best life, why are you going back and forth with these niggas?